Hello, today is November 3rd, 2023, and today I am going to do a highlight of a little project that I want to share with you. Thanksgiving is coming, and I have this darling Decoupage Queen rice paper Thanksgiving greetings, and they are just vintage designs for Thanksgiving. Really cute. I also have it in the A3 size. Same images, just in a larger format. A little bit about this. This is rice paper. And I thought I would just do a very simple technique with you and show you how I would do these. And then while I do them, I will discuss, for anybody that's new to rice paper or just need ideas, you know, they want this paper and they don't know what to do, I'll brainstorm some creative projects that you could do with this, and just do some basic techniques. So if you're new to rice decoupaging with rice papers, stay tuned. If you are a pro, I'd love for you to watch and get more ideas, and it's just fun to watch other creatives create, and I'd love to share ideas. So I pulled out just two rectangles that I have from some projects. I do sell surfaces in my shop. I also have these papers available and in the shop, but I do sell these surfaces. I have a variety of styles and some like sets in there. I don't have any blank rectangles in there right now. I will put some in later today. And I try to add things, you know, a couple times a week. I try to add more and grow my collection. So those are in there. They're great to work with for all your mixed media, decoupaging. You know, you could create scenes with molds. As you know, us creatives are always looking for something to use, to upcycle, or to work on, and so these surfaces work great. So I obviously am going to use the larger size, and we will decoupage and make some cute little plaques. If you're wondering about this smaller size, you certainly could do that with the smaller size. You know, you could make plaques, you could use them to decoupage onto rice, like tin cans to make little, that might be something we might do with this one. You know, make a cute little container. You could decoupage them onto boxes. Sometimes you get some really nice, sturdy gift boxes given to you, or, you know, you might find a nice heavy-duty box. You could upcycle it by using a pretty paper on the outside of it. Gift tags for your paper crafting. These are fun too, really. If you're a junk journal, if you love paper crafting and making pretty things for journals and keepsakes, these work good too to add in there. So there's all kinds of ideas. So I think I want to do this girl definitely on this one. So I'm just kind of sizing and seeing what I've got here. We will have to do some blending maybe to, these were just some tests that I had. And so basically, let me go ahead and just cut them out, and then I'll be able to work a little bit better because I'm trying to keep you in the view of the camera. So for those that are new to rice paper, you could certainly cut these out, or you just take a water pen or a small paintbrush with some water and draw a line with water where you want to tear. And then basically you can pull them and they will feather nicely right apart. Make sure you have them wet. And then just take your time. And that will give you a nice feathered look if you need that type of look for a project. So let's just go ahead and remove these other pieces so that I can see which one will work the best for my project. I will definitely be using all of these because these are so cute. If you're new to my channel, I would love for you to subscribe and like and follow. There is another video that I did at Halloween time using a vintage images, and I created oval some plaques, an oval plaque and a large tag, and you could see the process there too with a different design. So definitely I want this one where I'm going to put her on this paper. So I know that's going there. And then this one is a longer rectangle, so I will definitely have to do some stuff around that one. And I think, yeah, I think I'm going to save these two for something else. Okay. That's the hardest part, is trying to decide. So we're going to set those papers to the side, and when you decoupage, I like to give my surface, especially for light images, things like that, a coat of white paint. I'm going to paint the whole surface of these white just to give them a nice even coat. There's other little tips and techniques that we'll cover throughout the month or throughout different times that you can do differently. But for this project, we're just going to go ahead and put a white background, and that is so your image pops and you will have a nice bright image under for your decoupaging. If you were to add that rice paper right over a dark surface, it just, I mean, if that's the look you're going for, that's fine. I want to see those little girlies. This is a chalk paint that I'm just using, and if you don't have chalk paint, you could use acrylic paints. You could certainly do what you have. So just apply, you know, it doesn't have to be all perfect because we are going to be decoupaging over the top. Again, I have decoupaging supplies in my shop. These papers should be listed if you type in the search bar Thanksgiving or fall. I think I have a DIY Thanksgiving collection in my shop, depending on when you're watching this video. I would love for you to share and like, and if you're on YouTube, subscribe. Okay, this dries really fast. Another neat feature with using this MDF, It does take paint really well. I have tiered tray kits, different things like that that you could use. And if you have not painted with them, they are easy to paint with and use. So we're going to let that dry. And the next step we will do is apply the decoupage medium on top of the surface. Today, I'm just going to use Pentart decoupage glue in an ultra matte. I have a few different varieties in my shop for this project. I am just going to use this to put it on, to apply the rice paper, and then I'll be using the same kind for sealing the top. And the reason why I'm even explaining that is sometimes I'll put, like, there's some that I have in there that have sparkle or glossy or different effects like that. And there's no need for that. Okay, next I'm going to just remove this outer edge, the white edge, so I have a feathered side just like these. So some water on a paintbrush, and then you just gently pull this right along, and it gives it a nice feathered edge that kind of blends nicely right into your project that you're working on. And this works with the decoupage tissue papers or the rice papers. That technique does. So that one's all set. Let's do this one. We'll remove that. You could use, you know, a small paintbrush like this. I have also, I'm not sure where they are right now, but those little pens that you put water in for watercolor, and they have a little fine tip paintbrush. Those work good. Anything to just moisten this, and then it tears and feathers right along. And you could do that, like, if you only wanted, you know, say you only wanted the turkey, you could come in here and, you know, remove that turkey a little bit better than cutting. You certainly could use scissors, cut them out. This, if you haven't done this before, you'll see gives a nice feathered edge into the decoupage project. Okay, so we are going to bring back in our dried. These are all dried. We painted them first. I'm trying to remember which one I had. I had one a little bit bigger because I'm going to do, so I think this one's going here and this one like this. Yes. And what I wanted to do is paint the top of this, or I was thinking of adding a piece of trim. Originally, I had some pretty thick brocade, something that I had found, vintage piece of fabric. It's like a lace trim. Not a lace, but a thick sequin brocade. I was going to put that on top of there. But I might save that for a different project that I was thinking of. But we'll see. I'll show you how I work on that. So let's start with this one. This one's super easy to do. They all are, but very quick. I'm going to be using Decoupage glue in matte by Pentart. This is in the shop. Very easy. So we painted the base white. It's all dry. We're just going to apply Decoupage medium on the top part of my surface. There's a variety of different decoupage mediums you can get. I have used several. I like a lot. Certain ones are better for certain techniques. So when I'm applying the decoupage medium, I don't do the whole surface. I only do it in small areas to apply the paper. Rice paper is very forgiving. It's really a great medium to use for decoupaging, especially if you are new at it. So just kind of center. And another thing I want to show you, you can lift up within reason and then just smooth it out. Make sure you're all centered. That's good. And smooth it out. Now, these rice papers are beautiful. If you've decoupaged before, sometimes you get wrinkles, and if you're using like napkins or wrapping, like different types of papers, tissues and different things, you get wrinkles and things, and there's tips and tricks to do to help smooth them out. One being saran wrap wrapped up and putting it out. But these rice papers, I have had such success. As you can see, let me even lift it up. There's no wrinkles. So next, I lift up where I've left off, and I come right in and finish applying the decoupage medium that you're using. Make sure you get your edges good, because sometimes they'll lift. And then you're just going to simply slide it down. And then now you're all decoupaged on. And I don't know if you can see that, but there's no wrinkles, there's no bubbles or anything like that. Next is we will apply, I am going to apply this same brand right on top of my paper. We will next let that dry. We'll work on the next one. And when it's dry, you just come in and you remove the excess. Remove the excess with a soft sanding block. Okay. And that'll dry clear. I have paint in my paintbrush, and that's what I was wiping out. So that one we're going to set to the side. We'll let it dry, and then we come in and we remove the sides. So this one, I am going to position down towards the bottom for my image. So I'm going to start from there. Let's see if you can see that. Make sure you can see that. I am positioning this like so, because the top I want to put a little decor. Yeah, that's how I want to do that one. So I am going to start. So I'm going to turn it around, actually. Well, it doesn't matter which side that, but I'm going to turn the paper around, I should say. So I'm just going to put some on, just a little bit of the project. I'm not going to go all the way down, just make sure your sides are good. And hopefully you can see, so I am just kind of lining this up. Okay, I just want to take a peek on this side. See, I want it down just a little bit more. And the reason why I'm doing that is I want, make sure it's even. I want to have those words right at the bottom I don't want to have to come in with any paint. There. Okay. There. Oh, there's a little wrinkle. So just lift it up and smooth it out. These images are so cute. So now I'm going to go ahead and put Decoupage medium on the top. You can, I mean, it doesn't take an excessively long time for this to dry, and you can use a heat tool to help the process move along a little faster. Okay. All right, so I'm going to let these dry and I will be back for the next step. Okay, we're back and these are all dried. And now we're going to remove the edges, the excess edges. And what you can do is take a fine sanding block and going right along the edge, but in one direction. Don't go up and down or crazy. Go right along here. And it cleans it right off. Now see if you just rip it, it gives it a little feather. Come in and clean it right up. Do this side. That one's all set. And then we're going to do this one. I prefer to wait till this is all dry before I do this also. then I'm just going to go ahead on that bottom edge too to clean that up. There. Okay. I was working earlier, so I got a lot of glitter. I'm hoping that I got most of the glitter, but I still can see some. Maybe take this. Okay. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to come back to this one. This one we have this topper that we're going to be working with. And I wanted to, originally I had a piece of trim. It was a vintage piece that I had found with a bunch of ribbons and sequin trims and things. And I had something that I thought would go really well, but I think I'm going to save that for a different project and go with a clay molding along the top here. So I pulled out some of the trimmings, the IOD trimmings. I have 1, 2, and 3. And so basically I just went through, you know, and I got an idea. You know, if you don't have a certain one, you could do, you know, like, goodness, you could even do like some of these acorns along the top. There's some, the leaves, the fall leaves. You could use whatever you have. Some of these I'm going to stay away because they have a lot of florals in them and they look a little bit too springy. Also, I don't want to go into my image here, so I'm looking for one like this one I was thinking. It's kind of like a vine. And so from there to there, so that one would work really well actually. That one, these are too wide. And this or this would be cute, but I think now that I see this, I kind of like that because it looks like a vine and it might have like a faint like berry type of design in there. And I think it would look, I think that's the one I want to do. Okay, so I think what we'll do next is get some clay into our mold. I'm just going to use some paper clay that I have. I do have this one, I have IOD, and I have Jovi in the shop. This one I like using for when I'm using decor pieces like this type of thing, seasonal, lightweight. I also like this one for when I'm making jewelry and charms. IOD is for really special, like really nice pieces of furniture, nice things like that. The Jovi also has been really great also for a lot of things. So let me see. I have some cornstarch. Right here. I hope you can hear me okay. It's the evening time and everybody is in the house, so it's kind of loud. So I thought I would put this in to help keep things a little bit quieter. Okay, so I don't think that's going to bother. So I'm going to dust this with some cornstarch. And I do have some other videos talking about IOD molds and how to do like beginner tips, you know, but basically you're just going to want to dust it with some cornstarch to help release it. Other tricks are you can pop them in the freezer if they're not popping out the right way. Pop them in the freezer for a few minutes to help get them set up. But pretty much foolproof here. So I'm just going to put some clay in here. I'm going to create that casting and we're going to glue it right on top of that top border to finish our piece off. And I'm only going to do it to the top because the bottom has those sweet little script message that I want to keep. So I'm just kind of smushing this down and getting it smoothed out. Pushing it in good so that you can make sure you have all that detail. The other feature I like with this clay is for something like this, I should put this way. For something like this, it'll kind of dry and crack, shrink a little bit differently. And when I want to use some waxes, so, yeah, that's big enough. I want to use some waxes, so I kind of want that to kind of do that, like dry up and have a little bit of aged look. Always make sure you seal your clays up really well. Sometimes when I put them in here, sometimes I even put a paper towel, a damp paper towel folded up in there just to help keep some moisture. But I use mine a lot. So we're going to tip this over and release our casting. That came out pretty. And we're going to glue that to the top. And for glue, I have to open a new tight bond. So for tonight, we'll just use this. You could use any good quality glue. It's a little runny because my paintbrush I just had cleaned them. Okay, we'll put that right on top, like so. Press it down. You could fold this over if you want to, or slice it right off with a knife. I'm going to fold it over because I envision this inside either as a shelf sitter or in a hutch. You certainly could add like a sawtooth hanger for the back if you wanted to turn it into a wall plaque. Okay, so we're going to let this sit for a moment and dry, and I'll just keep coming back in and kind of pressing it down and tweaking it. That's cute so far, isn't it? That is cute. Okay, let me get the glue covered up. This moved. I need maybe a wet wipe to try and tidy up a little bit here. So the next one, you could definitely put a small trim if you wanted to, a decorative trim. I don't think I am today. I think I'm just going to blend some paint in because I have another step that I want to do with this. So, also too, as I had mentioned before, let me just set these like this. There is this paper in A3, and then there's also A4 size. Those A4 sizes I'm going to continue to work on. I would like to do a tin can create a tin can, like a container holder that you could use at Thanksgiving time for utensils, or maybe just a dried floral arrangement, or just something cute to put on there with one of these images. I also want to make some paper tags, some little tags. I love to decorate my hutch with little tags or miniature decor pieces like this to kind of just set up inside like teacups and things like that. So I'm going to do some of those with the little ones. And then there was something else. I'll have to think about that. There was something else I wanted to do. Okay, so let me just set these here, I guess, for now. So that looks good. So this one has got that little edge and this edge, and I'm not going to go crazy. Like, I'm not going to paint it a solid color. I'm just kind of going to come in with just a light-handed stipple with maybe like a shade of brown, I was thinking. But then I just remembered I do have some new fall shades. I have this one, but I don't think I want that. And where did I put that other one? I had like a cinnamon color one. Here we go. Nope, that's not exactly what I was thinking it was. It would go if it was going to be by itself, but if I put them together, I think I definitely want like a brownish rust color. So just give me a minute, I'll be right back. Okay, I got back. I was able to go look for a couple of colors. I ended up finding some of my chalk paint. I have coffee bean here, which is a really neat color. And then I also have ganache. And there are chalk paints by Miss Lillian's. At first, this was the original color I was going for in something like this. But now that I saw this coffee bean, I think I'm going to use this. I kind of am drawn to that. So we will, and I'm not going for a heavy, it's really light. Actually, this would even look cute as is with the next step that I'm going to be doing, but I am going to just lightly stipple this in around this edge a little bit and the top and bottom. This one hasn't even been opened. So this is Miss Lillian's Novak's chalk paints. Again, this is coffee bean. It's a kind of pretty color. Anyways, I carry Miss Lillian's Novak's chalk paints, but if I don't have a color that you see that I'm using here, message me and I can get it ordered for you. She has over 180 shades just in the chalk paints alone. So there is no way I can carry all the shades. But, and plus she has other supporting products with it, metallics and glazes and butters, and it's just amazing, amazing. But I will gladly order it for you. She is very fast at shipping. She is fantastic with us. Or the other option is I can give you a link and you can use my link and go on and shop her website and pick out everything you want. She is very fast with shipping to the customers. So that is another option. So basically, I'm trying to get offloaded as much as possible because I want this to be very light, very subtle, and just to kind of blend in, especially around this top here where there's that cute little, and so I'm just kind of around the corners. And to give it a little bit of an aged, embellished look. And as you can see, if I had gone on with all that paint, it would have been way too much. And I just made an error, but I'm going to show you. Remember, we put that Decoupage medium on top. So I can show you. Take a baby wipe. You can come in and blend that right off. I'm actually going to go around and blend this in a little bit to give it a distressed. Just use your finger, the pressure of your finger with that wet wipe, and it'll blend it right in. And this will make more sense when you see what we're doing with the next one. And I'm just going to come back in here and blend that there. Okay. And I think on this one, even if by chance I put them together in a hutch or side by side on a shelf or something, I think they will be okay because we've got this shade of like a pinkish red in the writing. I don't think I'm going to put it around here because it's going to be too much. So I'm going to leave, that's done for that. Thank you for watching and just kind of watching how I create and how I go along. I often do things in steps. That's why it works well for me for recording. Eventually, once I get a better schedule, I'll be able to go live more consistently. But for now, with my schedule, I have to do it in steps. My day job, I get to watch two beautiful little friends during the day. And so I don't have a consistent time frame where I can go online. Okay, this one, we have to put some paint on the top here just to kind of give it, to seal it and finish it off a little bit. And so even though I like that cream look, you just need to have a little bit of a shade on there. And earlier today I used antique white. There it is. These earbuds kind of limit my reach in my area here. Okay, I'm just going to put some antique white onto that piece. You can definitely go ahead and paint right over that, even though we just casted it not too long ago. You just don't want to go like super heavy-handed and push and ruin the casting shapes. You know, just gently get some paint on there to help. It'll help also too with the piece drying, having it on there. So I'm going to get some paint on, and then when we get the paint on, we're going to start another fun step that I want to do to these cute pieces. So this is a really super cute and easy little project to do if you have these cute decoupage papers and you don't necessarily have something that you can upcycle right away, but you really want to use it. Turn it into a little plaque or into a little wall decor piece, or you could put this easily onto like in a cute little vignette. Set it inside a basket with some florals around it. There's all kinds of little things you could do with this. So I'm just carefully going along here. And I think I have it all covered. Okay. And that's all we needed to do for that. If you want, you certainly could take the time and go around your edges. You know, if you were going to have it for that. I usually wait till I'm done with my project and then go around, and I often will use a paint marker to go around my edges, either in black or gold or whatever color that will look good, but to like cover that up, especially these types of surfaces, because I cut them on the laser, so that's like a burn mark, and so you have to keep painting and painting and painting to get it to truly cover. But when you're done with your project, you can come in, take a paint marker, a black paint marker, and go right over it, and it makes it, you know, like more finished. So we put our paint on there. I know you can't tell much, but for the different shade there, but it's all painted. We're going to set this one aside and let that dry for a few moments. And this one, we're going to come in now and do a crackle finish on top of this. I would like to try, I've used this once before. This one is called the Fine Line Crackle. It's a two-step system by Pentart. I have Fine Line, I have a regular, there's a couple different crackles. So when you're in the shop, depending on what I have, just make sure you read which one. One is very fine line, one is a classic, and I have a couple more, but I might not have gotten them into the shop yet. But anyways, this one, you put part one down and you apply it on and you let it dry. Then you come in with part two. And there is a little sheet of directions in your package. This one will it'll make it look like old porcelain. So like that really, when you find an old teacup or something that's got those fine line cracks in it, that's what this is supposed to look. So you're going to apply the first component onto the surface, and then after complete drying, you will apply the second component using a brush or your fingers. And then once that's dry, you can go in with your waxes. This one's Would You Bend Patina, but this is by Pentart. They have waxes or I often love to use my glazes, the antiquing glazes, things like that. So we'll go ahead and get started. And we will get, and I'm going to do it to both of them. I'm going to apply it to both. Making sure my brushes, this one isn't, I don't want too much of a tint or anything on. Okay, so you're going to apply this on. It's almost like a decoupage medium, but actually it feels a little thicker. And I'm excited for this. I've used this on last Christmas with some ornaments, and they came out so cute. Very vintage, old world looking. You could like kind of pick and choose the spots of where you're putting the crackle if you want it a little heavier in other spots, and some spots you don't. So we'll get this on, get it all coated, and then we're going to let it dry. And that's going to be the longest part, is to let this dry, because it is a little bit thicker consistency than even that decoupage medium that we used earlier. Okay, let's set that one here. And actually, I do not want to set them on top of my molds in case any of that gets in there. Okay, and now we're going to apply it to this one. I have to look. I think I can get larger containers of this, because these little ones, once you get into the habit of using this, you go through this kind of quickly because you enjoy using it. So I'm going to look to see. I think I can get a larger size from the company. I think this is going to look really cute, and just put the finishing touches on this. This would look really cute in an oval framed piece, like an old vintage frame with the crackle on top. Okay. So I am going to let these dry, and I will be back to show you this step 2.